Hey everybody, Jim Jock with Remax North Country. We're coming to you with 3 reasons that your home didn't sell. So either you were on the market, had it listed, tried to do it yourself or whatever, and in the end it didn't sell. So we're going to walk through 3 reasons that could have something to do with why that happened. So I'm going to be looking for any questions that you have in the comment section. If you want to, ask a question in particular, I think I can see it on this. I don't know, until somebody comments, I'm not really sure if I'm going to see it or not. So 3 reasons that your home didn't sell, and they all start with P. I'm going to have 3 P's for you on why I think, maybe a home didn't sell. The first one is presentation. Presentation is the first P. Presentation, what I mean is, how did your house present itself to the market? Online, in person, all things like that. Listing video, listing pictures, walkthroughs. There's some common things that I find when I recommend to my clients to look at these things, that it has a good impact on the home sellability. So the first reason your home didn't sell, presentation. What I'm thinking about is your walls. How cluttered maybe are your walls? Does the walls need paint touch-up, things like that? We want them to see the house, not your stuff. So it's real important that we free up as much of the wall space as we can. We also want to take that into the countertops of your home. So when they come into the kitchen, and if there's something lined up on every bit of the countertop, it's very distracting, because then what they're looking at is like, ooh, I really like that jar that they have the utensils in, or that's a really interesting coffee maker, or ooh, they have a French press. No, we want them to see the countertop. Maybe you put granite there, but they're not focusing on the fact that you've got a nice countertop because there's so many things on it. So think about clearing all that space. If you've got an island, then maybe most things are all taken off so that you just see the island itself and how it flows, and the line of sight goes right into the living room. We want to focus them on them being able to put themselves in the picture. So we're gonna keep that in mind. We're gonna clean off the countertops. That would also apply to end tables in the living room, end table or coffee table. I'm not saying that everything has to be stark and sterile looking. We certainly don't want that. We want the character of the home, but we also want to make sure that they can see what they're buying, not what you're taking with you. So keep in mind that clear and open. Also in the kitchen, one of the little things I like to do is all the hand towels that are usually hung either on the front of the stove or on the kitchen, the refrigerator door handle. I'm getting eaten by bugs here. Let's put those away. Let's them focus on the thing behind the towel, like the refrigerator that's included, or the stove that's included, that's a stainless steel or whatever. So again, we're cleaning that off. When I do pictures and walkthrough videos, I also take the soap dispensers, like the portable ones, and the dishcloth that's up there, and I put it in the sink or under the sink so that they just see the clean lines. So that's what we want them to focus on. Some other ways that dealing with presentation is also things that are very specific to either you or your hobbies or your beliefs or things like that. I went to look at a house for a seller one time, and we walked in what you would consider was probably maybe a formal dining room at one point, but it was turned into the wildlife sanctuary, but the wildlife was no longer alive. There were deer heads and antlers, and you walk in there, and it's kind of creepy. Some people don't like that, others don't mind. But when we look at how your home presents, we want to clean that off. We want it to be non-offensive. Guns, sometimes the gun cabinets are out. It's like, I don't have any problem with guns, but let's not have them out where they're visible during a showing, because maybe that just gets somebody turned on the wrong foot or whatever. And we want them to love your home and buy your home regardless of if they believe with your political or religious or any other type of beliefs. We just want them to buy your home. So let's take away things that are maybe polarizing. Front yard political signs or flags or banners or things like that. Again, do you want to sell your home, or at this point, let's just take that off and entice them into your home, not necessarily what your beliefs are when it comes to that. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. I mean, it could affect it does affect how your home is presented. So keep that in mind. But the bottom line really is clean lines that aren't polarizing, cluttered, or things like that. So the first reason that your home didn't sell, presentation. Let's talk about the next reason, and that one is promotion. Let's talk about how many photos you have, how many videos you have. But even with photos, I've seen some $300,000 homes, and in our market, that's upper end. It's well above the average market price. But I've seen where they'll have 15, 20 pictures. I'm sorry, that's not enough. It's not enough. You got to have more. There's room in our MLS, at least. I think we can put 70. The last two listings that I put in, I uploaded them all, and then when I submitted them, I had to remove some because I had too many. But it's really important. And not just that, is you want to factor in, at least for me as a listing agent, making sure that the order of the photos makes sense. So if you walk in the front door and you see, and you come into the living room, and then you walk into the kitchen, you walk into the dining room, then have your picture orders in the same order that somebody's going to see them. Hey Matt, how you doing? So have your pictures in an order that makes sense in how they would walk through the property. And I always do, downstairs first, then upstairs, then basement, and then other outside pictures and things like that. So we factor in how many photos you have. The other thing that's important too in the presentation of your house is the orientation of the camera. If people are going to use a phone with a really good camera, it makes a big difference if it's held this way or this way. And what it depends on is where the photos are going. If the photos are going on most websites, the photos have to be in horizontal mode or landscape versus vertical or portrait mode. So some websites like Instagram and Pinterest and things like that, they do support better this orientation. But most photos that go on Remax.com or Realtor.com or Zillow, Trulia, and the millions of other platforms, they're looking for the pictures to be horizontally taken. The way you can tell if they're not is you'll have a horizontal like the shape of my screen, and then you'll have this, the video is like right in the middle like that. And that doesn't present or promote your house well, because you're not seeing the most, taking up the most on your screen to promote the house. The other thing is, in promoting your house, is a video. Video nowadays is a must. And a lot of that, honestly, lately, the last 90 days, is COVID-19 and virtual showings, virtual walkthroughs. The first look that they're getting is going to be a video walkthrough. So now, speaking of photos and the promotion and presentation of your home, the still photos should be in the same order that your walkthrough video is, so that it kind of follows the same path, and it'll make more sense to the buyer, because maybe they're walking through the video, and rather than pause the video, they want to go back and look at part of what they saw along the way. So in the promotion of your house, listing photos and pictures go into the multiple listing system. They get pushed out to a lot of different sites. But also factor in, was there any social media aspect to the promotion of your house, of your listing? Again, we're talking about reasons that your home maybe didn't sell. So it's important now that even though most people are using, mobile devices, and they're looking at, house selling platforms, the way social media interacts with that is maybe they haven't seen this house on their search in Zillow, Trulia, Remax.com, Realtor.com, or wherever. So what the social media does, it's like, oh, I didn't see that one. Let's watch the video. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to click through and now look at it. And that will help promote your property for sale. So that's a second reason that I think sometimes listings don't sell is how they're being promoted. It's not really enough just to put it in the multiple listing system and see where it goes. So we want to, again, use some of the other technology that today's buyers are using and take advantage of that. So the third reason that your home might not have sold is price. And I know everybody hates to talk about price, but price is really important. Actually, all three of these P's are important: presentation, promotion, and price. In today's market here in Clinton County, New York, we have a lot of competitive offers, but competitive offers are happening when the homes are priced right. Okay, so if the home is overpriced, it's less likely you're going to have competitive offers. Okay, so here's what happens. Here's how buyers, at least based on my experience, how buyers interact with price. When the home is priced right, there will usually be competitive offers. So if the home is priced right, you'll have a lot more showings, you'll have a lot of activity, and sometimes it's when you do a price reduction, and then there's also all kinds of activity. That's because it's coming into line with the buyer's expectation of the price of the home in today's market. In other words, it's priced right. The other side of that, if a home is priced really high, you'll probably, or even just overpriced, define that how you want. That usually means that you'll have few showings, if any. That is assuming that these other factors with presentation and promotion are on spot. Price is very important. So if you don't have any showings, then it's definitely an issue of price. So if you have a few showings, all right, then maybe you're just a little bit high and not overpriced. Okay, define that as you will, right? So if it's a little bit overpriced, maybe you'll have some showings but no offers. Okay, so that's something to consider. So we will, again, a lot of what your motivation is as a seller will determine how soon you readjust the price based on the market's reaction. So we put a home on at X, say 150,000, and we get no showings. We drop it to say 145, and we get no showings. Maybe it comes to 140, and then you start getting a lot of showings. So that's a reaction to the market reacting to the price that you have it on at the time. Okay. When we price a home as a real estate professional, we price looking based on the history. How have similar homes sold in the past? Okay, and then we also factor in what we expect the market to do moving forward. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Now, these are all things that factor in to pricing the home. But it also comes down to what's the seller's motivation. I absolutely have to be out by this date, so we're going to need to price it so that it goes quickly. Okay. Or if a seller isn't in a hurry, then we go maybe at the top of the recommendation and then see how it goes and bring the price down more slowly. So anyway, these are things that we factor in, reasons that I think maybe your home that was listed didn't sell. Presentation of the home, promotion of the home, and your price point. Okay, so anyway, if you have any questions or if I can help you at all, comment below and I'll be glad to reach back out to you. All right, Jim Jock with Remax North Country, associate real estate broker. Glad to help you. Thanks for listening in. We'll see you again soon.